welcome to Young Climber. Today we have returned with an individual and we're delving deep into his musical journey here in the Kingdom of Eswatini and most importantly, internationally. We're talking to someone who has top charts, won awards, and most importantly, collaborated with international artists. I am talking about none other than Thando Lwethu Masuku, better known to you as Lyrikal Busta. Lyrikal, we welcome you to Young Climber.
Welcome. How are you, Bello?
I'm
How
all
are you?
good, and I'm excited to have this conversation with
Yeah.
you. I think it's been a long one coming. We've had so
Right.
many professionals in this
Facts,
position,
yeah.
but we haven't delved deep into the creative industry and musicians, most importantly. But I want to backtrack a little bit. This is
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
get to reminisce and, dig deep into where your journey started. You grew up, I would say, in a musical household because
True, yeah.
your father was a music collector and your mother was a vocalist. She
Yeah,
could
yeah.
sing. How did that shape your passion and, growing up and make you who you are?
I think first things first. I think that's a very wonderful question. It really helped me a lot because I think that's where the foundation of everything you see today started. Growing up in a space like that and having to experience music at a very young age. And actually fall in love with music at a very young age. It really helped me a lot because literally all my life, that's been my life ever since that little spark of inspiration.
Okay. And as an only child, you had plenty of time to focus on the
Yeah.
creative side of yourself. Maybe all you did was just listen to music because you had no one to talk to. But can we talk about how that specific part of your life influenced songwriting and development, especially for music creativity?
So maybe to take you back, the situation was like I'm literally the only house staying with my father.
Okay.
My mom wasn't staying with us around that time.
Okay.
So as you had already mentioned that he was a music collector, like he had a lot of CDs in the house.
Yeah.
At some point there were a lot of CDs such that they had to use my room as a storeroom. So literally I'd be sleeping and there was like a pile of CDs next to
Yeah.
me. So every time I was bored, I would just like pick any CD if I liked the cover. I'm like, I think this is nice.
Yeah.
I put it in there. I started listening to music. So I think that's where the connection also started, Being around a lot of these things made me to like really wonder, how do people actually do this? Is it possible that I as well one day do the same thing? So it really shaped what you see today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what we knew you for, what I first knew you for
Yeah.
when it comes to genres was hip hop.
Right.
And that's where you started.
Okay.
Within that influence, because maybe Marvin Gaye,
Exactly.
the old type of music. But what inspired you to get into hip hop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, when I start playing classics and then someone's like, I keep on asking the person if you know the song.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know the song. I normally say, yo, it's better clean than my walk over Saturday.
Yeah.
Something. So like also the household, when I was with my mom, it was the same vibes. Weekends, she's cleaning, she's playing R&B, But as far as hip hop, I think it all started when I was in school, at St. Mark's Primary. I think when I was there, like there was a lot of influence around that time. There were a lot of people, some people that I personally looked up to. They were also in the same space,
Yeah.
So being a young kid trying to find a corner in a young freestyle session, it really made me feel like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
And it really made me also to sort of like look at it with eager that's like something I want to do. So I think that's where like the influence of hip hop starts.
Yeah.
The first track that I recorded was a hip hop song. So you are right. Yeah.
And what we saw in you was like a change of genres, I would say. Much recently, I'd like to believe.
Okay.
What influenced that transition
Change,
specifically? Because now, I would say your music speaks to the soul. You hear it in the words. It's poetic.
Yeah.
even in hip hop, you
Yeah,
get that.
the same thing.
But now
Yeah.
Kunmisa Simo, it's relatable, I would
Yeah.
say. What influenced that transition, to go into the Bavumile kind of music?
Kind of music.
Yeah.
To answer that question, I'm afraid I also have to go back. So
Yeah.
when I was in primary, also besides hip hop and the influence, I was doing choral music.
Oh,
So
okay.
like even high school, I did that as well. So I spent a lot of my time, when I was in school practicing for choral.
Yeah.
So one day while I was sitting and I was like, okay, fine, I'm really doing this in rap, but does it really make sense that I spend so much time doing this thing
Yeah.
and I cannot find a way to implement it in my music?
Yeah.
So I think that's how I like sat down and I was like, I should experiment, try out new sounds. Unfortunately, when we tried it out with a song called Dance For Me. Shout out to Sleep Ace. He produced that song.
Okay.
So when he
And
produced
that was
it,
your first song?
it wasn't my first
Oh,
song,
okay.
but it was like my first song on radio, first song on TV because
Okay.
it had a music video, and
Yeah.
first award also.
Yeah.
So we experimented with that song. We came out with that song, and then I was like, I also don't wanna let genre abuse me. I believe that it's just like a form of transporting a message. But what's important is the message.
Yeah.
If I want to speak to young people, I obviously need to do my research. What are young people listening to? Is it most likely for young people to listen to me on a jazz beat or an
Yeah.
piano beat?
Yeah.
And then I'll make that decision. It's part of the creative process. So I think that's how the music comes about. Because when I created Afro Please, I think I was really targeting an older audience. So I had to go and make a research. What are like older people listening to?
Yeah.
What are they most likely to listen to? Because I have this message that I just want to rap in a certain genre and pass it to the next person. So that's how I see genre really. I also don't think I'm a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
I prefer you call me a musician.
Yeah, just a musician is
Yeah.
perfect. And one thing that I have already mentioned is that, your lyrics, your music are so relatable. Which leads
Yeah.
me to asking where you draw your inspiration of
Yeah.
songwriting from, because it's relatable to almost everyone.
Yeah.
And could you just tell us more about a slogan that you do not miss, taking Swati music to the world?
Yeah.
Can we just talk about that? And of course, your songwriting.
I'll start with Swati music to the world. So the whole idea of Swati music to the world
Yeah.
is not really about me. It's not really about people that I work with.
Yeah.
But it's something that I think we need as a Swatini, because we have so much talent. But I think we just need to like sort of like core a sound that we're gonna export and then that we're gonna package and then export. Because I believe it's easier to do it as one than everyone coming with their own sound. So I think Swati music to the world is like a step to that. A step to finding us and finding our foot in the world as far as music is concerned.
Yeah.
So I think with inspiration, I've always find it hard to answer that question because everything inspires me.
Inspired, definitely.
Because I think I'm an artist through and through.
Yeah.
I have a conversation with you. I'll have a conversation with you as an artist. It's very rare that you'll have a conversation with me and the artist side is not present at that moment.
Okay.
So I always draw you. I draw it from people's stories. I always look at social issues that we're facing. I really like to use my voice as an element of change.
Yeah.
I really like to add something to the society with my music. So obviously when I write my music, there's a lot of things I look at. I look at our social issues and I try to address them through music. So that's why I'm saying I always find it hard to
Maybe I'll
inspire.
find this moment in your next song.
Exactly. It's worth a song.
Yeah.
Actually.
But you've won multiple MTN Swama awards. Received numerous nominations.
Yeah.
Out of all your accolades, which one is your favorite, and why does it mean the most to you?
I think my favorite one could be Best Hip Hop Artist 2000 21.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the best one because I had been nominated in that category, you know, and I think because of that reason, you know, how I think people are sometimes they're very stereotyped. Like when you say you're a lyrical pastor and you have an Afrobeat song, they be on some and forget that lyrical derives from the word lyrics.
Yeah.
Even if it's gospel, it's still lyrics. Even
Yeah.
if it's so, I don't know how people really come to the conclusion, but I had been looking for that award in a nutshell for a long time, and me finally getting it
Yeah.
was like really special.
Life-changing,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I had 3 music videos, which is like okay, but that one was really special.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that so much. And with you, I think the one thing that I admire the most is
Yeah.
that you have a strong sense of professionalism
Yeah,
across all your platforms. And
Yeah.
the most important thing is your graphics are always
Yeah.
on point. You've made it to a point where airing on big international channels, you know, your music
Yeah.
has gone that far. How have you managed to keep this professionalism across everything? Because to make it
Yeah,
on TV,
yeah.
you need to speak to someone. It's not
Exactly.
about being a hip hop artist,
Artists, yeah, yeah,
take my song and put it on
and put
TV.
it
That
there.
requires a sense of professionalism. How
Professionalism.
do you get to that point as Lyrical Buster? And how do
Yeah,
you manage to switch between the
yeah,
business side of things and
and yeah.
creativity part of things?
I think it's first things first is very important for everyone or anyone who decides to embark on this journey
Yeah.
as a profession to understand that in as much as there's talent involved, it's still business.
Yeah.
After all, one great person once said, talent only brings 20% and the rest is strategy. Strategy could be the things that you just mentioned.
course.
Understanding the business aspect, understanding how to relate with your audience, you know, how to actually build that audience
Yeah.
and keep that audience, you know, entertained throughout. So I think as soon as you understand that it's business, you
Yeah.
know, it's very easy for you because you know how to move, you know who to associate with
Yeah.
and what not to associate with. So it really shapes you and acts as certain guideline in
Yeah.
your life, you know.
Definitely.
So I think it's all about knowing why you're in it, you
Okay.
know. If you're in it for money,
The money. We're all in it for the money
unfortunately,
at the end of
you
the
don't
day,
have a
but
choice. You know, there's ethics to
yeah,
follow
yeah.
and code of conduct.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
most certainly agree with you there, Lyrical. But let us go out into a short commercial break. When we return, we talk
Yeah.
about social media and how you have used it as a tool to propel
Yeah.
the Lyrical Buster brand. But that is only when we return. Welcome back to Young Climber. In today's episode, we are coming to you from Solani's, which is in Imbabane, right here in the Kingdom of Eswatini, where you get to enjoy a nice shisa nyama, or if you want to invite friends and have drinks during the week or the weekend, they are definitely the place for you, and they are most importantly passionate about you. But in today's conversation, we are joined by Lyrical Buster. We've been breaking his story before the break. We are still deep within the journey, but you know what we love to do here at Lyrical on Young Climbers, that we're motivating young people. And one thing that you have been fortunate to, you know, tick off your list or get right is social media. You have used it in the most positive way to propel your brand, to make you who you are. I know you're always live on TikTok. When I go into TikTok, I'm guaranteed to find Lyrical Buster live. How has technology helped you in propelling your brand? And most importantly, how can young people use it as well to make sure it doesn't even have to be in music, you know, any other industry. Now timageta, using social media or technology rather, to propel yourself.
I'm glad you have said it. I think we're really at that age, you know, fourth industrial revolution, you know, with AI taking over. people should really start taking social media seriously, because that's where the world is at.
Yeah.
You know, not to disrespect any other forms of marketing,
Yeah.
but I was literally having a conversation with a friend that, you know, these days someone gets into a car or public transport and won't even get a time to look at a billboard because they're on their phone the whole time. You know, so everyone should start like taking social media very serious, especially if it's used the right way, because we've seen it that it could be used in other ways as well. But if you use it for the right way, and that right way is to put yourself out there as an artist or as a business, so I think that could really help in also our quest, which you spoke about, taking Swati music to the world. You know,
course.
it's like the easiest way of reaching other people, especially not even in Swaziland alone.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, even other countries. So like people should like really invest in themselves, invest in their brands, and really invest in social media.
I like that so much, because one thing I've seen you do was push your music. You encourage people to use your sound. That's how it
the whole
expands.
time.
That's how it grows. But now we talk about collaboration. You know, you've collaborated with some of the biggest in Eswatini, and we've seen you collaborate with some of the greatest international artists. Recently, you know, Mbabane Tujozi has some of the best collaborations, you know, but now we speak specifically on, you've collaborated with Young Zesh, which gave us the song of our lives in Eswatini, Kakoza. But and then Indaba Yasetupai, how would you say the power of collaboration helps in pushing you as an artist? Because if maybe the two of you weren't on that song, it wouldn't have gone as far. But it did. And now, even with your collaboration with Indaba Yasetupai, your music video is almost reaching 500,000 views on YouTube. How does that make you feel? And how have you managed to increase your audience using the power of collaboration?
I think collaborations are very important in our industry, you know, because you will understand that, and as far as we make music, we're also sharing our life stories in a way. And your life story is not the same as mine. Your experiences are not the same as mine. So obviously, when we come into a song, we come with different perspectives, different musical understanding, and we're all coming in one common goal of making this thing great, you know. So I think like collaboration is like one of the easiest ways to like really get out there. You've already mentioned that we worked with Young Zesh on a song called Yakoza, which because of our collaboration and our different audiences that we were bringing to a table, it really worked in both our favor, and it, most importantly, it really worked in the song's favor to actually go out there. So I would really you know, advise artists out there that they should like go out there and really make collaborations, you know, especially if they feel like they have something to offer and they have something to benefit from that, you know. And you've already mentioned we featured in Tabasi Dubai on a song which is like on half a million views, which is like amazing. I don't think I would have done that alone. You know, he brings in his audience. He's from KZN, South Africa. I'm from Bawane, Swatini. So when we come together, obviously we bring in two different audiences, and when they collide, it's something else. So collaborations are the key, and they could help us take Swati music to the world better than anything else.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, what I love about every profession is that everyone starts somewhere, but there's a turning point in your life where you realize, go to, this is where my breakthrough really happened. I want to talk to you about that moment for you. When was the turning point for you in your career? Because you then left us.
Right.
Was it when you collaborated with big artists? When was your turning point for you in your life, and how did that change your career?
Since you said life, you know, I think the most important turning point was really that day when I decided to go to the studio for the first time.
Okay.
You know, it was sort of like a coincidence. There's a
Yeah.
big story to it, but I think that was like the turning point because ever since I went inside there and I recorded that song, you know, I've never felt like I need to look back from then.
Yeah.
So I think that was where the turning point was. It was that first step, you know.
You being an established artist, you still signed under a record
Yeah.
label, which is Upscale Live record
Yeah.
label. What are some of the benefits of being with a record label, and would you recommend it to the younger artists that are coming up?
Oh, like we spoke about it, at the end of the day, it's business, you know. If you have talent and you do not have financial means to finance it, in any business, not even music, you
Yeah,
know,
of
you need
course.
some people that are going to invest in you. You need some people that are going to believe in you.
Yeah.
And I think we need to understand that an investment is not charity.
Yeah.
It's still an investment. I wouldn't want to invest in you because I want to invest in you because I want to benefit something in return. So I really believe in record labels. I believe that our industry would be striving very far if we had a lot of record labels
Okay.
that were really committed in unearthing talent and exporting their talent as well. I feel like it would have moved, you know, faster because I feel like most of the issues that we're facing are just financial issues.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
we can blame the audience all we want. We can blame the media all we want. The problem is money. You know, so
At
we
the
need
end
people
of
that
the
are going to
day.
come and invest. And you need to understand that an artist does not release music. An artist makes music.
Yeah.
A record label releases music.
Okay.
And understand that the corporate world does not make deals with artists. They make
Yeah.
deals with companies.
Yeah.
So it's fine. If you feel like you have the power, build your own record label and push yourself through it and finance it.
Yeah.
But record labels are part of the game. They've been
Yeah.
and they will always be. And I'm in support of them.
Okay. So what I get from that is young artists should definitely be signed under a record label.
Yeah, if they don't have the means,
Okay.
or
Of
just
course.
stop doing it at all.
All right. But it's a way to learn. Now, can you just talk about your latest piece of work, your latest project,
yeah.
Mbabane to Josie?
Yeah.
What's the story behind it?
Behind
Well,
it.
even
Yeah.
though it's self-explanatory,
You know.
what's the story behind it, and what
Yeah.
message are you hoping to send when it
with
comes to the music that's on there?
Yeah.
Because it varies, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, the collaborations. How did you
Yeah.
manage to collaborate with those big artists
Yeah.
and of course our local artists?
Exactly.
Because you know, some people will say, me and Zakwe, we recorded that song in 2022,
Yeah.
but you're only releasing it
Released
now.
it
Yeah.
now. So maybe to put it out there, Babano Teachers is currently out. You know, we just released that. It has amazing features. The likes of Zakwe, the likes of Anzo, Young Zesh, Sean Cast, Choco, King Habanero, Skun Pampiri, Indiana. You know, so what what that project really pushes, it pushes a message of unity, you know.
Yeah.
It's actually what I was doing. I was experimenting how our sound if we sort of like collaborated other artists that are not from here. That's why you will hear a lot of guys that and it also speaks to my journey because all of those people that I featured are people that, you know, I met
with
around
you.
this journey while I was creating this project, you know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zakwe as well. That one really caught me as a surprise because I grew up listening to Zakwe.
Of course.
You know, I was in the backseat there at school, singing along to his lyrics, trying to be louder than him. You know? So to actually be in a song with him, it's like a dream come true. You know,
Yeah.
and how that song came about, it came as a surprise. Like I said, we were just in studio after we had hosted a show. I think we had invited them in Swaziland. So we went to Smunya, and then after Smunya, we usually bring our studio wherever we're booking. So our studio was there. Sean Case plays the beat. I do this hook. I didn't even know he was writing a verse.
And how long ago was this?
A year and a half.
Oh,
Or
you
if not 2. I'm not really sure, but like
Yeah.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know who was writing that verse. I thought he was probably on WhatsApp. Till he said, "Let me put my verse. I'm done," you know, because I recorded the hook while he was there. So I think it was just us connecting in the studio and him feeling like he had something to say on the song. So that was really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while many people struggle with unemployment rather, and finding their passion, usually they say, get a job and then work on your passion.
Exactly.
With you, you turned your musical talent into your profession. What advice would you give to young people that are talented but are afraid to pursue their dreams? Because oftentimes, you know, these kinds of careers are shied upon. Like, hey, you know, all of those things. What advice would you give to the young people that are just afraid? Because
no vele singawakhuthaza ama-artist ukuthi mangabe kuyi-passion yakho ufila ngazuthi ungayichuba, you know, really do put in the work. But I would also advise them in the same token that they should like really focus in school. I know the industry better. I'm in the industry. Some of them may not be lucky, you know, it might not work. It's still that side, really. So it's very safe to at least
50-50.
You know, this is the way artists lay. Let's get. I'm phoning rap. Like, what are you gonna tell us? Because you know, at the end of the day, for you to pour out something, you need to pour in something. So, like, it's very important for artists to go there and get that knowledge because I think you know, it's very important. You know, push your goal, but school, you know, really focus on school. I'm also looking at doing some courses online. So people should not say, no. We're artists, but we're really working also on other aspects. We might not post it because we don't have page to post about our academics or whatever, but you know, we're really working on that. So I would advise other artists to also work on that as well, especially in our country with the way the industry functions and the way I feel like it still hasn't been fully monetized. So it would be really important for them to do that if they can. And they have the means to.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Lyrikal Pastor, for joining us here on Young Climber. What an inspirational story. Mabane to Josie is the album that is out right now. Please do stream it on all DSPs. It is available. And all the other music, Bavumile, which was very, very late. Music video did come out in the recent weeks. So please do check that out on YouTube. And all the other beautiful, you know, music videos that he has been able to create with so many beautiful collaborations with artists from Eswatini and outside of Eswatini. But with that said, Lyrikal Pastor, thank you so much once again for making time to join us here. It was such a beautiful time with you. Thank you once again.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for the platform. It was really amazing. And thanks to the viewers at home for their time.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
We hope this one will catch someone's eye. And a big, big thank you to Solanis once again for hosting us. We hope that we will be back in this beautiful space. But if we're not back, you can still come here on our behalf and enjoy this lovely, lovely space because they offer shisanyama winama drinks, a good time with your friends during the week and the weekend. They say they are passionate about you. But with that said, we are loving you. We are leaving you. We are signing out. We are bowing out. It is good night and God bless.